This is Donna Peck, longtime Orangevale resident, and she's going to tell us stories about Orangevale and her life in it. Donna, where and when were you born?
I was born in Sacramento many years ago, but I was raised in San Francisco.
And when did you move to Orangevale?
Uh, in about 1970, maybe?
Okay.
72. I've lived in this house since 75.
And if you could ignore her for a minute and just look into here where everybody...
Look into... Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell us about why you came to Orangevale, under what circumstances, and what things were like back then.
Well, we had horses, and so we decided we better find a place with land because we were boarding them. And so we found this house, and we moved here in 1975. And things were very different in 1975. Greenback Lane was kind of still rural. Hazel Avenue was only 2 lanes. I'm trying to think where Walmart is. There was a strip mall type thing with Capri Market and Capri Florist and Capri Rexall Drugs. And I think there was a coffee shop in there. I can't remember that. Across the street, you probably don't know it, but at one time there was a Wonder Bakery outlet store across the street over where Reagan's Irish Pub is. What else? Where the post office and that area, there was nothing really there. That didn't start getting built until, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years later. I can't remember. The Powwow Days Parade was held every year, and it was a big deal. My kids rode in it. Everybody's kids rode in it that had a horse, and it was a really big deal. The Twin Lakes Riding Club rode in it also.
Where did it start and where did it end?
Well, usually it started down on Main and ended up where the post office area is now. A couple of times they did change the route. I think one time they even did it down Oak Avenue. I can't remember that. They did take it off at Greenback Lane. Like I say, Hazel Avenue was only 2 lanes, and I can remember when they changed it to 4 lanes. They had dug up the whole street, and it was dirt. And all of us that had horses would race the horses at the end of the day when there wasn't much traffic, would race our horses down Hazel Avenue until they paved it. And a lot of us used to ride, we could ride out to the lake without taking our life in our hands. We could go through back ways and ride out to the lake. And there used to be a trail that went between 2 houses up on Cardwell that we could get up to the Water District. You could ride on the Water District property all over the place. It was beautiful up there. They had canals and everything where the water was. You could ride all the way up there. You could ride all the way to Roseville, and you could ride out to Folsom Lake without worrying you were going to get killed. At the other, well, I don't know if you want to know this, but there was at one time a topless bar in Orangevale. And it's in the same shopping center where Badfish Coffee is. It was the talk of Orangevale. It was called the Pink Pussycat. And the man who ran it, I don't remember his name, but I'm dating myself here, but everybody said he looked like Burl Ives. Most of you probably don't know who Burl Ives is, whatever.
I do.
Okay, well, it was the talk of the town. And so I bugged my husband. I said, I want to go. He goes, you don't want to go. Yes, I do. He said, fine, I'll take you. So we go in there, and I don't think I'm naive, but I really didn't know what to expect. I'd never been in a topless bar before. And I go, oh my gosh. And so we sat there for a couple of minutes. I go, okay, I've seen enough. And we left. I've never gone into another topless bar. Have no desire to. There was two grocery stores. There was Capri Market, and then I can't remember the name of the other one. It was up the street on the opposite side. It was owned by a family with like 10 kids or
Was
something.
it Parade? The Parade
Maybe
Market?
it was. I can't. Maybe it was Parade, but I know.
Or Vaughn's?
No, it wasn't Vaughn's. It was owned by a family with like 10 kids or something. I can't remember that one. I'm trying to think what else was up there. Well, of course, Reggie Pittman was a staple in Orangeville. He had been here for years. He owned the Shell gas station, which was on the corner of Hazel and Greenback, right where the post office is now. There was a Standard station, I think, across the street. At that time, we didn't have all the Mexican restaurants we have now. We had a few, but we didn't have near as many as we do now. I can't think of anything else. What would you like to know?
Where did you do your shopping?
Okay, at that time, nothing against Capri or Rexall or Capri Market or anything, but they were rather pricey. So I drove into Folsom, and they had a Lucky supermarket in Folsom, and that's where my girlfriend and I would go into Folsom and do our shopping. And they finally opened a supermarket down by Sunrise Mall, and it was a Lucky, and we'd go there. Let's confess, I didn't do my shopping in Orangeville. Sorry. I did do my drugstore. I did go to the Capri Rexall. Dale Schroeder owned it. He was a wonderful man. But he finally got put out of business when, I think it was Payless or Rite Aid or something, opened a pharmacy in Orangeville, and he was done. What else?
Capri Dale Schroeder.
Yeah.
Just getting that down. Where did you buy things like clothing and things
Okay,
like that?
for clothing, up where Rayleigh's is, there used to be I don't know what you'd call it, kind of a catch-all thing. I think it was Zodi's, but I can't remember the name of it. There was
Rasco Tempo.
Rasco Tempo, yes! That's what it was
I
Rasco.
worked there.
It was Rasco Tempo. Yeah, and either there or I went to, I'm trying to think what others, I can't remember what other stores were around. But yes, mainly it was Rasco Tempo. It was Rasco Tempo. For feed for the animals, Mr. Sicardi's. Everybody went to Mr. Sicardi's. He had been here forever, and everybody bought all their supplies at Mr. Sicardi's.
We still call it that.
Yeah, I do too. But I must confess, I don't go up there like I used to, because they're not as friendly. And that's not right. I go to Douglas Ranch. You could cut this out. I go to Douglas Ranch because they sponsor a bunch of stuff for the riding club. We have asked, Western Feed, mm-hmm. and they have declined. So I go to Douglas Ranch. But you can cut that out. I'm sure you will. So, but no, Mr. Sicardi was oh my gosh, he'd been here forever. Ever and ever. And he always sponsored stuff. He always bought beef or pigs or something at the livestock auction for the 4-H kids. He was a wonderful man.
Tall, skinny guy with a hat.
Yep. And he'd give you a hug. Well, maybe not the men, but the ladies would always give you a hug when you came in there.
I got a hug from Mr. Sicardi.
Pardon me?
I got a hug from Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Sicardi.
Did you?
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was, I think, about 8 months pregnant at the time. Just, oh, I'm mama.
Yeah.
That's so very sweet.
And then I'm trying to think, that orchard there, it's still an orchard, but they sold it off or whatever on Filbert.
Thomas Brothers?
Yeah. I used to go there all the time. And then, they had one other. This is kind of gossip. They had a vegetable store stand on the corner of Main and Greenback. George's Produce. And a wonderful man, except he committed suicide. Do you remember that? Mm-mm. I can't remember. He committed suicide. It's awful.
But he wasn't part of the Thomas family?
No.
Okay.
And then, right after I moved in here...
sell produce to George's.
Oh, really?
Did you?
Yes, sir.
And then, I can't remember the man's name, but right on the corner where they're building that house, he owned the 10 acres in there, and he ran some cows in there. He was an older gentleman. And one day they walked out, or they were missing him, and they walked out in the field, and he had dropped dead out there.
Oh.
That was a long time ago. Long time ago. Trying to think of anything.
What were the roads like?
Well, they were paved.
You described Hazel. How about all the other roads around here?
Well, they were just pretty much like they are now. Pretty much. I mean, there was no really dirt roads except when they were building it. And then I remember when they went ahead and redid Sarah College, or that was when I used to have to, coming from work, and I had to make a left turn onto Cherry to get to my house. I took my life in my hands because that was a two-lane room too, and it had a lot of traffic, and I'd sit there with the turn signal going, looking in the mirror like, oh, please don't hit me. They finally wanted that to 4 lanes.
Were you here when they put in the Twin Lakes Riding Club arena?
No, that was before my time. Yeah.
Do you know when that happened?
I think about 1961. I'm not sure. Carol Walden or Carol Shoemaker would know. I'm not sure. It was before my time, though.
And were you a member of the Twin Lakes Riding Club?
I joined in 75, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Did you
And
think
What
of
about,
anything else?
what about, did you have children? Did they go to school here?
Oh, yeah, my kids. This is what's kind of neat. I have 3 generations that went to CASA. My daughter, Corey. My granddaughter, Emma. My granddaughter, Corey. My daughter, Corey. My granddaughter, Jessica. And my great-granddaughter, Emma. All went to CASA.
Wow.
I can't remember when CASA opened. It wasn't very old when we moved here.
It was about 66.
Yeah, Corey Peck went there in, when she graduated, I can't remember. Let's see.
I remember Casa being a big field.
Yes, and they didn't have a football field. Oh, they did have the football field, but they didn't have, no, they didn't. They had the field, but they didn't have the bleachers. And so, do you remember that gentleman that got in charge of it and ended up building the bleachers? I can't remember his name. Newman. They named the field after him. And he didn't, as I understand it, he didn't even have sons. He had all daughters. And he got everybody going to build bleachers, and my husband did concrete. And so my daughter volunteered my husband. And so my husband was a foreman, so he told the guys, we are pouring this concrete Saturday or whatever, and we're not charging them, so, whatever. And I have to admit, they all went along with it. They were fine with it. So he poured one of the things in there for that. But Gary Newman, I think his name was, he managed to arrange all that to get the bleachers put in. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, and they named the field, as far as I know, it's Newman Field. They named the field after it.
Did a lot of people have horses back then?
Oh, yes. At one time when we moved here, supposedly, I can't verify this, this was supposed to have more horses per capita than anywhere in California. Of course, I mean, by capita, I mean the size of the town and stuff. I mean, it was supposed to have more horses per capita. Everybody had horses. And there wasn't that many track houses. It was all acreage. It was a lot of acreage. Not that way anymore. Not that way anymore. So,
Were you here when they were building the dam?
No.
So what elementary school and middle school did your children go to?
They went to, Pasteur
Uh-huh.
and Green Oaks.
Okay.
Green Oaks? Yeah, Green Oaks. It doesn't. Yeah, Green Oaks.
Okay. Okay, well, let me see. What have we left out? Oh, what was Greenback 2 lanes at that time?
I don't think so.
Somebody said that Greenback had palm trees all the way down. Is that true?
It did. Some of those pictures I sent you, it did have palm trees.
I haven't received pictures. You sure you didn't send them to
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't send.
Marilyn?
You're right. I didn't send it to you. I sent it to Kay.
To Kay. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Sorry.
Good.
Yeah, they did have palm trees.
Must have been pretty.
The last of the palm trees are where Denny's restaurant is right now. And they moved all what was left over to Filbert, Pecan,
Oh, okay,
by
yeah.
the orbit station.
Right.
And speaking of that, the orbit station, that has been here forever. Hasn't it? Yes, forever. If they ever tore that, it's iconic. I hope they never tear it down.
Me too.
When it was here when we moved here with the things shooting out of it. Yes.
There's 3 left
Is there?
in the Sacramento area.
Really?
That's one. There's one over by American River College, and another one someplace.
I didn't even know there was any others. Really?
And there's supposed to be several dozen of them down in L.A.
Really? I had no idea.
They turned them into another kind of store. I don't know if it's a bookstore or something.
Really?
They
I had
they
no
were
idea.
gas stations.
I thought that was the only one, for heaven's sake.
They started out in L.A. and they put a couple up.
Really? I'll be darned.
So if you go down Folsom Boulevard by American River College, you'll see the other orbit.
Oh. We'll have to make that trip.
Mm-hmm.
Another interesting fact, I don't know if you know or not. Do you know where Mahalo Pools is in that little shopping center?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know that half of that building's in Orangeville and the other half's in Folsom?
Oh.
I worked for an office, so they have offices upstairs.
Yes.
And I worked there for a short time. And I didn't realize it until I was told, my boss told me, that half of it's in Orangeville and half of it's in Folsom. And supposedly Amos, you know Amos Starr?
I do. He lives behind me.
Supposedly he's the one that owns that building. I don't know whether that's true or not.
I have to.
Do you know why that line is there? Dividing line? Folsom used to stop at the river,
Yeah.
but they had a car dealer over there that moved to a bigger area, about where Jack in the Box is currently.
Uh-huh.
And doing that, they would have lost sales tax revenue. So they just annexed that area, and there was nobody to oppose them.
Yeah. And it's a shame.
So that's why Folsom boundary line
Yeah.
is way over there.
Yeah. 'Cause yeah.
And Citrus Heights did the same thing
Did they?
years ago at the other end, down by the mall. They just moved that line because they could see what was being developed.
Wow. Orangeville got kind of whatever. Yeah.
Squished.
Yeah, squished.
Yep.
That's a good word. I'm trying to think of any other. The Black Stallion has been here forever. It's now since changed hands. But the Black Stallion, oh, that was another one. That was supposed to be a bar, rough bar, whatever. I don't know. I was in a bunch of twice and I didn't see anything.
It was there for 52 years.
Yes. Well, then that woman got shot in there and killed. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
A woman was closing up. Do you remember that? She was closing up. Somebody. Did they ever figure out who shot her? Did they ever get? No. Shot her.
Did you ever go in the gateway?
No. What was it like?
I never
Oh.
went in.
Well, I think maybe we did. When we would line up for the Powwow Days Parade, the bars would usually give you free beer. I don't drink beer, but whatever. So probably some of the members went in there. I don't know. No, I've never been in that. I've never been in. What's that one? It used to be a country western bar. Now it's a. Well, I don't think it's even open. The owner died or something down there on.
On the boardwalk.
Yeah, Boardwalk.
Ah.
But that used to be something else. What was it? It was a country western bar, but I can't remember the name of it.
Currently a rock bar. Used to be country western
Yeah.
for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then it was a hard rock bar.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was before then.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's been here a long time.
Oh, yeah, it's been here.
How long has Jan's Lounge been here?
Not.
That's another one, long time.
Yeah.
What about La Placita? That's a.
Well, that hasn't been. a long time. I don't know, maybe, well, 30 years maybe. I don't know, 25 years. Which I guess that is somewhat of a long time. I mean, yeah. We went there when they first opened, and I can't remember when that was. Where the White House is, they were going to turn that into a wing place. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It was beautiful in there.
Still is.
The bar with the where they had the ladder. We used to go up there all the time. It was beautiful in there, and I never could figure out why it didn't make it. They had good food. They had excellent help. I could not figure that out.
The original restaurant or the wing place?
The original restaurant,
Yeah, they just didn't have enough people coming through.
I guess.
They had a gorgeous bar.
Oh, well,
Gorgeous.
have you ever been in there?
Yes, I taught at Pasteur and at Casa for a while,
Okay.
and a bunch of us would go over there after back to school nights and open house, and our principal didn't like it because he didn't want us drinking in Orange.
Gee.
But we went anyway. That was a beautiful place,
Oh.
and it's still beautiful. It's a church now, isn't it? Or it's
Yes.
Oh, it's a church?
And I can get the Orangevale History Group to meet down there in December.
that would be wonderful.
I didn't know
Tour.
that.
So it's not obviously it's not a bar anymore. If it's a church, is that where the sanctuary is in the bar? Wow.
They took all the shelving out off the wall,
Oh.
but left everything else there.
Oh.
So all the beautiful crystal glass and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and the chandeliers, they're
Uh-huh.
still there.
Wow.
I'll show you pictures later.
Great. Great.
I guess it was just too classy for Orangevale or something. I don't know. Like I said, my husband and I went there a lot. I liked it there. It was very classy.
There was a tea room for a while.
Yeah, I didn't figure that would go over.
I loved it, but it didn't last.
Yeah, no, yeah. What else? Trying to think of anything else. Can you think of anything?
Ken? We talked about the schools and where did you ever go down to Country Club? Some of the people we interviewed said they went down to isn't that what it's called, Country Club for back to school clothes and things like that?
Oh, Country Club all over on Watt Avenue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was the last mall
Yeah.
before you got out here.
Yeah, out here there was nothing. And then they built Sunrise Mall. My husband was foreman on that job. I don't know when that was. I really can't remember when they built that. But I know everybody was saying that mall is never going to make it. They're out here in Cowtown. Now, it did then. Now it's going down to tubes again.
Yes.
When I lived here, there was nothing where the mall is. But the Capitol Nursery was there,
Yeah?
and the church across the street was there, and that's it.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
No Sunrise Mall.
No.
No Birdcage.
No. There was just fields. Yeah.
Well, about when was Sunrise built?
I'm trying to think. My husband was foreman on that, and I'm trying to think.
It's in the mid-60s.
Mid-60s?
Yeah.
And Birdcage probably the same time?
Same time.
Yeah. Well, Sunrise Mall was built, and then they built Birdcage. Do you remember Birdcage had the birds in the
Yes.
in the aviary, and then they didn't stop to think, gee, it gets kind of cold here, and they killed off the birds.
Oh. I remember birds there. I remember there was a bowling alley
There's a bowling alley, there's an ice skating rink.
and a movie theater.
Yeah. There's an ice skating.
Movie theater was very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the clock?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It still exists.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It was probably the mid-60s, somewhere along in there. Yeah.
We used to ride horses on that land. It used to be nothing but thistles.
Oh, really?
But it was graded flat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was a big deal. Boy, whew. We were going uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Citrus Heights could see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
So they just
Yeah.
move that line a little bit.
Yeah. But and now it's kind of going down the tubes. I mean, what can I say? But before that went in, yes, we went to Country Club Mall. Yeah. Never did care much for Arden. Well, it was farther out there to Arden Fair.
I I thought it was real unusual the first time I saw a yellow cab out here in Orangevale.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, a cab.
Yeah.
Now they're all over.
Oh, yeah.
But back then, that was
yeah.
a rare sight.
Can you think of anything else?
So for social life, you had your riding community, and there was the powwow days.
Yeah.
And was there anything else? Were there any clubs out here, or?
Well, my kids belonged to, my older daughter did belong to FFA.
There were
There
two
was,
riding clubs out here.
yeah, there was,
Vaqueros.
yeah. It's Orangeville Club, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Vaqueros was in Orangeville.
Yeah. And they, I don't know what happened to them. I mean, they just, yeah. What else? Can you think of anything, Ken?
Just the roads have been improved.
Yeah. Yeah.
The roads have been improved, and we have to fight for our acreage.
Yes. Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember all the businesses on Main Avenue and Greenback because that was my stomping ground.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of them that have been turned over.
Mm-hmm.
The real hot spot was, I guess, Foster's Freeze. There was something.
Yeah, remember it was Foster's Freeze? Yes.
Down by where George's Produce.
Yeah. My kids used to ride their horses up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably did too. Yeah.
So that was on the corner, or what was that, Main and Greenback,
It's,
where George's Produce
well,
was?
it's Foster. It was Foster Freeze. It's Dairy Queen now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Isn't it Dairy Queen?
Yeah.
Yes.
But there was another one.
There was another one up there. Yes.
That preceded where George's Produce
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And that's where all the kids hung
Yeah.
out.
My kids, I'm sure. Yeah.
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 And then the new one came in called Hangabur.
Oh, you remember Angleberg?
I went
Oh
there.
my gosh.
I went there often.
Oh, my kids went up there all the time. They rode their horses up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where was that?
It's exactly where the little pizza guy is. You know Orangeville Liquor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right across the driveway thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's Little Caesar's Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Okay. Hangaber was what Little Caesars is now. Okay.
Great burgers.
Yeah. And like I say, I'm sure you remember when there was that Wonder Bread outlet up there where Regan's Irish Pub. What else was up there?
I remember that.
I'm trying to think what else was up there. There was a flower shop up there.
Bank of America used to be where the Chamber of Commerce is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they moved.
Yeah.
But the vault, I think, is still there.
Yeah. And when that mall went in where the post office and stuff is, they had all different good stuff there that are not there anymore. They had a Take-3 video. Do you remember that? We don't rent videos anymore, but they had a Take-3 video. And do you remember Roy's Appliance?
Mm-hmm.
Poor Roy was a great guy. He really was. And I remember he was rented all sorts of videos, and some of them happened to be X-rated. Now, myself, I don't go around renting X-rated videos, but that's neither here nor there. He has done so much for the community. And these ladies were up there picketing him and everything else. I mean, nobody's putting a gun to your head to make you walk in there if you want to rent a video. And he had them in the back. They were very discreet. And I thought it was terrible because Roy did so much for the community. And if you want to rent those things out, somebody's going to rent them out. I mean, for crying out loud, that was awful. I thought that was bad. But if you had any kind of charitable thing going, Roy would donate to everything.
What was Roy's last name?
I don't know.
Do you remember Wilkie's
Yeah.
Auto
Yeah.
salvage yard?
Yeah.
Where you could go in there and get parts for your car?
Yeah.
Where was that?
Where the glass place is right now.
Yeah.
Orangeville Glass?
No, it's right across the
It's
street
street.
from Orangeville Glass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember what that's called.
I don't remember what's there now, but yeah. Wilkie's? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he always sponsored a trophy in the parade. Always. Always sponsored a trophy.
And there was a tire shop on the corner of Greenback and Main that had a huge tire that people would sit in
Yes.
and they'd push it down the parade route.
Yes. What? Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
I forgot the name of the tire.
I did too.
And
Yeah.
where was that?
Well, it's
Do
kind
you
of.
know where the boardwalk is?
Huh?
It was right there.
The corner business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, I think it's a tile
Yeah.
place.
Right.
But I don't remember the name of the
I don't either.
tire store.
I don't either. I could see the tire. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Any other popular restaurants that were big?
Well,
I don't know when Lupita's came in. I don't know how old that is.
I don't. That's a study. The one I do remember is Hangover, but that was not a. It's a fast food. I can't remember any, except I like the White House, but that's the only one I can really. Well, wait a minute. That Chinese restaurant down there by the Black Stallion. Remember that one? There was a. I don't know if it's still there or not. I don't remember the name of it. That was there for a long time. That was there when we moved here. But I can't remember the name of it. I don't think it's there anymore. Yeah. And do you remember before it was Denny's, there was something else?
Yeah, I was just trying to remember that.
Yeah?
Pepitos or something. It had a short name to it.
Yeah. It was a typical, like, American food type stuff.
Yeah.
And it was cheap.
Chobies? Scobies?
So Scobies? Maybe?
No.
Scoobies? I don't know. You're close.
Something that's, I'm close.
Yeah. That was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Denny's, well, Denny's been there since. And then there's of course the one across the street that had been there that's no longer there. The breakfast and lunch they served across the street by the library.
Annie's.
Annie's. That was there for a long time too.
Yeah.
It's now
Hot off the griddle.
hot off the griddle.
Yeah.
And that shopping center where Denny's is used to be all open ground, and that's where they ended the powwow.
Oh, days. And that's where they had the carnival and
They had
stuff.
all the
Yeah.
carnival stuff
Yeah.
going on there.
Yeah.
And the post office ended real short. I mean,
Yeah.
That was it, and it was nothing beyond the post office.
No. It was just an open field. And you think of anything else?
No, I'm just talking about powwow days. When I taught at Pasteur, those kids would get so excited when powwow days came. It was the thing, and this was.
Well, it's
I
a big
taught there-
thing. Oh, yeah.
I taught there in the 80s and 90s, so it was. I mean, it was everything to them.
Oh, yeah. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Not so
Sure
much
was.
now. I don't know. Like I say, all my kids rode in the parades and stuff, and the club rode in the parade. I rode in the parade several times with the club, but not so much now. And they did change the name of it. It's not Powwow Days anymore. What is it?
They changed the name several times over the years
Yeah,
But
to
everyone's.
make different people happy.
But I
yeah.
think everyone still calls it powwow days because. I mean, that would be interesting to, when was the first one?
I don't know. I don't know.
Didn't Charlie help start that?
Oh, yeah. We interviewed Charlie Clark,
Oh, yeah.
and yes, I'll have to look back.
Yeah.
Because, right, he was talking about the doing electricity work for them.
Well, do you remember Sheets Welding?
Oh, yeah.
Are they still there, or they're?
I
No,
had
they-
stuff welded by them.
Yeah. I have too. Yeah, they were here for a long time too.
They did trailer hitches. They did all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
And were they in Cable Park, or?
No, they were down at the other end, sort of.
Right across the street from where Jack in the Box is now.
Yeah.
Do you mean Carl's Jr.? I thought Jack in the Box is up on Fair Oaks and Greenback.
There's a Jack in the Box where Greenback and Maine come together.
There it is. Oh yeah, you're right. Yes, I've been there once.
Yeah.
Don't need a lot of fast food. Okay,
Yeah.
across from Jack in the Box. Okay. Yes, I know where you mean now. Because when you said that before, I thought that's awfully. All right,
And
got
I
it.
remember the very first 3-story building that went in Orangevale.
What was it?
It's still there.
What?
Shannon's Upholstery.
Upholstery. Oh, yes. I remember that.
It's
yeah.
got an elevator inside.
And I've never even been in that store. I'm saying,
Oh, pretty stuff.
really?
Yeah.
First three-story building.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
That's terrible because I've never even been in that store.
And it's still in business, isn't it?
Yes. Same family that opened
Yeah.
it.
Trying to think what other businesses can.
There's several homes that used to have basements.
Yeah,
I don't know if they still do or not.
yeah, there was. Trying to think of some of the old stores down there, or businesses.
P&D Market.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. P&D Market.
I used to work there too.
Did you?
Yeah.
And where was that?
Main Avenue. There's a fast shopping center. There's a quick stop thing there right now. It's right down the street from right a couple feet down from the barber and gun shop on Main Avenue.
Yes. Yes.
Lego place, right
Yes.
across the street from the Lego place.
Right.
Well, and you remember the sporting goods, what was it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Wild Sports.
Wild Sports.
Yes.
He was here for a long time too.
Mm-hmm. But there was a business before the Wild
Yeah,
Sports. Vaughn's.
it was
I think
Vaughn's Market.
Market.
Yeah.
Grocery store?
Mm-hmm.
Is it VAU?
VON.
Via Von. Okay. Okay. Well, that's a chain, isn't it, Von's?
I think.
I think
there's
it
one
is, I don't
there's
know.
one right by my daughter's house, and she lives outside of Fresno.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think it's a chain, yeah.
Well,
There's been a lot of changes.
yes.
They moved that big old house, the 3-story house that was on Greenback, moved it out to Oak Avenue.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was there the day they moved it.
Oh, really?
Oh man, they had all kinds of stuff going on.
That's an old house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does it have a name?
Yes, but I forgot what it was. I think it's in the Orangevale book.
Okay.
Were you here when the railroad was here?
No.
They went through Orangevale? Okay.
No. I was just here when it exploded out there in Roseville when they had all those things going off. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I-
They found some just about a year ago.
Did they really?
Yeah. Driven deep into the ground.
Wow. Were you here then?
No. What is this? What are you talking about?
Roseville train area, train
Uh-huh.
yard.
Yeah.
Okay, biggest one on the West Coast.
Uh-huh.
They had a bunch of Army munitions come through, and somehow they were almost all set off.
You could hear them. I mean.
Oh yeah, you could hear them way over here
Yeah.
booming.
Was
I don't
anyone
know.
killed?
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
and a lot of damage was done. They found railroad wheels. You know how it's all steel wheels, a mile away.
Oh, gosh.
The blast was that strong.
Yeah. I know. I was out there giving my horse a shot. I thought, what the heck? I had no idea what was going on. Not a clue. And so I finished giving him the shots, and I still didn't. I come in. I mean, I had no idea what was going on. Yeah, that was pretty spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to dig up almost every rail line that they had out there. And they found all kinds of munitions that were driven into the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, still alive.
How long ago was that, Ken? 40?
I don't know. It's documented somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's got to be in the late 60s.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't know. That was something. I can't remember anything else exciting happening. Do you?
Not exciting. Did you? Was there any other horse arena besides Twin Lakes?
No. Not that just the one down at the park, but that didn't go in until Mr. Sicardi put that one in or paid for that one or something. Did you know that?
No.
They put a plaque and I don't know what happened to it. He's the one that paid for that.
By the Defanis?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He paid for that in Orangeville Park.
Ah.
And we had a plaque acknowledging this.
Wow.
I have no
didn't know
idea.
that.
I have no idea what happened to the plaque. I have no idea. Nobody knows that. That nobody knows that Sicard did that.
Wow.
I don't know. I have no idea why they took the plaque. Where the plaque is.
I know there's a horse riding business
Yeah.
down there on the other end of Main Avenue.
Yeah. Shadow Glen.
Shadow
Yeah.
Glen, yeah.
And then there's a gal on Oak Avenue that gives lessons. What's her name?
And now there's this other arena over here, the newer one. At the end of it's real close to here.
Well, there's one like it's. God.
Sky West or Sky something. The one right down here.
Yeah.
It's really fancy.
It's a newer one.
Yes. It's right there on the end of Cardwell.
Oh, that big
Big
honking
Sky.
thing. Oh, that human. It's on 30 acres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
That thing's huge.
The one that owns that or bought that is a daughter or granddaughter of Rayleigh's.
Oh.
She's the one that she rode in the Olympics,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
she's involved in that. My grandson-in-law did some work, so he took me over to see their facility, their barn,
Oh, it's fancy.
and I mean they've got glass leaded panel doors in there. Oh my! You could eat off the floor.
Hmm.
It's
It's pretty nice.
It's pretty nice, yeah. Yeah.
And just north of that is the old Rock Corral. You remember that?
Yes. Yes.
Indian grinding rock?
Yes. Yes. We used to
It's
ride the
still there.
horses in there. The Orangeville Park bought it, and nobody can do anything. I mean, nobody goes in there anymore. It's just, I understand why they want to preserve it up to a point, but nobody can go through there anymore. We used to. They had the grinding rocks and everything.
We used to take our sleeping bags and sleep on the grinding rocks.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, we used to ride the horses through there, and we didn't disturb anything. It's not like we were messing with anything.
But it's landlocked right now.
Yeah.
And they're trying to find a way to do something about it.
Oh, are they?
But they don't have any money. And I don't know if it's a county park or a Orangeville.
Well, I thought it was Orangeville, but I could be wrong. I thought it was Orangeville. But it's just such a shame, because it does have a lot of history in there.
Yeah. All the grinding rocks with all the holes in them.
Yeah. Yeah. You were lucky we got to see this. Not everybody did. I
Well,
mean, you know?
I live on Cherry. I drive by that thing every day and wonder about it.
Yeah.
Now I think it's just home to a bunch of coyotes,
Probably.
and because we hear them all the
All
time.
the time, yeah.
Lately, a lot. I think because there's so much is being developed.
Yeah.
Whatever's being developed on the other side of Hazel,
Yeah.
where that fire was, that grass fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're losing their habitat, so we hear them more and more.
Do you remember the airport?
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
flew in and out of it.
Did you know the airport?
Phoenix Field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was just when I arrived here. I remember driving down Madison, and I saw a small plane crossing Madison. I went, "Whoa!
Yeah.
What are they doing?" Yeah, yeah, but it closed soon after that.
Yeah.
I was there when the Goodyear blimp actually came and
Really?
landed, picked somebody up, and took off again
Really?
Wow.
for some event over in Vacaville or something like that.
Wow. Wow.
It's huge. It took up the whole runway.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
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 And I did talk to some guys, I forgot who they were, that actually built it. And when they built that, they picked that spot because it was way away from
Oh.
everybody else.
Well, yeah, it was rural. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
Okay, can we think of anything else?
Oh, do you remember the chicken ranch over here?
Oh my gosh! Yes,
The big
yes,
chicken?
yes,
Featherland
yes.
Farms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go over there and buy seconds that they weren't really washed or whatever all the time from them. Yeah, yeah. Whatever happened to Big Chicken? Did somebody
And
steal
how
the
they-
Big Chicken?
They used to steal it
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
I remember Featherland Farms. I remember the chicken, and I have a friend who's actually on the history project whose son-in-law admitted to stealing it at one point. I guess it always came back, and
Yeah.
then somebody else would steal it. kids.
Can you think of anything else? Me either.
Mm-mm. A lot of businesses come and go,
Yeah.
but some of them have been around here a long time. I think the oldest was probably Black Stallion,
Probably. Yeah.
and I remember the Pink Pussycat.
Yeah. That was a talk of the town. Oh,
But
God.
did that,
It made national news.
Did it really?
Yes, and somebody's making a video about it right now.
Really?
It hasn't been released yet. The
in,
whole story.
In Orangevale, of all places?
Yeah, I got national news. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like I said, that's the first and only topless bar I went into.
And you lasted all of 3 minutes?
Yeah, I was about to. I go, jeez. And I told my husband, I said, I have a better shape than they do. Some of them, really. I said, I do. I said, he goes, yeah? I go, that's, I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was kind of naive. I've never been in anything like that. Okay. I can't think of anything else exciting or interesting or that happened.
Well, if you do, you need to call us, because we had to go back to Charlie's again, because there was a whole bunch of stuff he forgot to tell us the first time.
Okay.
So just give me a call if you think of something wonderful.
Okay. I can't think of anything right at the moment.
And that first guy,
Nick Sal.
yeah,
Yes.
he had many more stories to tell that he didn't get into.
Ah. Well, we'll have to get him back.
He knows the details on building the Folsom Dam.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
He was here that
Yeah.
long ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what people used to do for entertainment way back then.
Which was?
Not much.
Not much, no. No. There really wasn't a whole lot to do.
That's why I think they look forward to seeing the powwow days.
Yeah, probably. I mean, really, unless you were over 21 and went to a bar, there really wasn't. Well, I mean, they did have clubs. They had 4-H and FFA for the kids, but a lot of the kids were not really into that. I mean, you know.
I guess
Well,
they just hung out at Foster's, Freeze, and Hangaber.
yeah.
Yeah. And back when I was going to high school, they hung out at that other place, which turned into George's Produce,
Okay, yeah.
which is not there anymore.
Yeah. Then before they had the community center, they had the youth center on Hazel Avenue.
And that's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Mm-hmm. And then they built a new, bigger one over across the way.
Yeah.
Now this year they finally got a street light, so that you could actually cross.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
Pedestrian.
Yeah.
So smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we have a farmer's market now in the summertime. Was there ever a farmer's market before?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And you said there was George's Produce. Were there any other sort of roadside vegetable stands, or? I would think it being so rural, there would be.
There was a number of strawberry fields.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But his was the only business that was a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
He was there all year round.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And that's all he sold was produce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to take blueberries and boysenberries and pomegranates
Yeah.
and peaches and cherries
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
some other stuff. Yeah.
I'm mentally going down Greenback Lane and I can't. Hillside Stable. That's the one that she gives lessons down there on Oak Avenue.
It's called Hillside?
Hillside Stable. She's been there for a long time. I can't think of her name. Kathy. Her name's Kathy. She's been there for a long time.
Oak.
You know that big rolling wood area that has all those homes?
Yeah,
I was running around there when there was no homes.
really.
It just belonged to that sheep guy,
Uh-huh.
one sheep herder.
Yeah.
But we would camp out there, we would run our bikes over there, we would visit friends over there. We had a good time.
Well, we used to go down to the end of Peerless, and you go on that. Do you remember that? That they did have gates then. Smud had the keys to the gates, but they gave us a key to the gate, so we'd go in there and ride on all that property back in there. There's a couple of lakes out there. We used to ride back in there, and then when they built those houses back in there, they wouldn't let us out there.
Oh, and I remember Hazel not going through,
Mm-hmm.
not across the river.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that was a big thing to carve that out,
Yeah.
build a river, build a bridge.
Yeah.
Do you remember Aerojet testing the
Oh gosh, yes. And you could hear it sometimes. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could hear it. They're done now. Gee, what else? Actually, I'm mentally going down Greenback Lane and trying to think what was there and it isn't there now, but I can't really think. Help me out here, Ken. You're thinking too, aren't you? We're going
There
down
are
Green.
some of them that have been there for years.
Yeah. I can't.
The Catholic Church is fairly new,
Yeah, that's fairly new.
and we have somebody to interview on that, I think.
Mm.
Someone said they know the history and the details behind it.
One time before they built the church, they had that big tent. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my son said we remember that it was the Four Square Church, and I don't know what it's called now. It's on Hazel, right across the street, right down the street from Cherry. It's a big church, New Life, I think it's called now.
Yeah.
And they had a tent for a while, and my little boy said, "Look, Mom, another Catholic church."
Okay.